So you're traveling around the country, and I'm sure you're meeting a lot of people.
Yeah.
What about it has anything, any perception that you had changed when you were out there? Because as a comedian,
Yeah.
I've gone around the country, not as much, but a good amount, and you see things, and you do have a little paradigm shift, and
Sure.
you go 20 or 30 minutes out of any major city, you do see more poverty than you would think.
Yep.
You do see areas that have been kind of abandoned
Sure.
or forgotten.
Sure.
In many of our cities, you see drug addiction, a lot of homelessness, a lot of kind of vacant spaces in the downtown area.
Yeah.
You don't feel great about it. And then
right.
there are areas that are beautiful, and there are areas where you could see people are trying to hold on and conserve the community that they have.
Sure.
But there's a lot of areas that, you see that are struggling. And
Of course.
is that more evident when you're traveling around?
I think it is because you talk to people a lot more. I mean, one of the paradigm shifts that I've had is, 4 months ago, I'd been a senator for 2 years. I was like very frustrated with the policies of Kamala Harris and of Joe Biden, right? I'm sort of pissed off about that. Well, the thing that I think that sometimes leads into is you kind of get this tunnel vision about like policy and not about the people who are actually affected by it.
Right.
And it also, I think honestly, being out there has made me more fundamentally optimistic about our country, right? Because you're right, there is a lot of poverty and there's a lot of problems in our cities, and I'll talk about that in a second. But like, you also, I met this woman, really affected me about a month or so ago. And usually what we'll do is we'll do these rallies, but then we'll like, do photos with volunteers and just people who are helping out the campaign in some form or another before we do these rallies. And this woman comes up to me and she's like, I can't afford groceries. I've been like working my whole life. Things are really tough. She tells me that for like 20, 30 seconds. And then she spends 3 minutes talking about how she says a prayer every single night for me, my wife, and our 3 kids by name. She's memorized the names of my children, a guy she's never met, so that she can pray for their safety. And you're like, okay, there's a generosity of spirit out there that, yeah, we can be pissed off about the policies of Kamala Harris, and we should be, frankly, because she's a disaster. But we can also be, I think, more hopeful about the country, and that's like a paradigm shift that I've had.